Hi, and welcome back to Dr. Karen's Math Hacks. Today we're going to talk about working with time zones, flight times, arrival and departure times. Stuff that anybody who travels needs to know how to do. I teach a remedial math class for the Army, and the Army sends people all over the place, right? So one of the things they need to know is how to determine what the time zones are, what your time changes, that type of thing. So they include that on the math test. I was going over how I do it and realized that I haven't made a math hack out of this yet. So here's this one. Okay, so let's look at a problem. Let's say that we are flying from Fairbanks, Alaska, which is where I live, to New York City. Okay. Both places have clocks that have departure times and arrival times. Right? If the flight is 9 hours and 30 minutes and we leave Fairbanks at 2:15 in the morning, which happens a lot. They always schedule flights to leave at early in the morning. And we get into New York at 3:45. What is the time zone difference between the two places? All right. Well, let's look at it this way. If we left at 2:15 Fairbanks time and we flew for 9 hours and 30 minutes, that would make it 11 hours and 45 minutes Fairbanks time, right? When the plane landed. So we compare that time to New York time when the same event happens. We find it's 4 hours. What we want to do is we want to make one of these the same, either the arrival time the same or the departure time the same. And that will tell us what the time zone difference is. Okay? All right, this time we'll fly from New York to Fairbanks. We're going to come back from that trip. All right? We still got a 9 hour and 30 minute flight time. There's still 4 hours between it. But this time we're departing from New York at 11 o'clock a.m. All right? So what time do we arrive in Fairbanks? Well, 11 and 9:30, okay? 1 hour makes it noon, so we get 8:30 p.m. for our arrival time. What time is that in Fairbanks? All right, this is 4 hours, but are we adding or subtracting? Well, actually we're subtracting 4 hours and 30 minutes. I'll show you why in just a second. Let's talk about time zones. All right, if we look at the Earth, we're looking down on it from the top. The sun is over here. So we got a shadow here, right? This is our night. The Earth turns counterclockwise, which means that this movement here is dawn, and this movement here is dusk. Sunrise and sunset. All right? That means that if we've got the eastern part of the United States, and here's Alaska, this is Canada, right? So if this is the U.S., the eastern part is going to hit the dark first, right? As the planet turns underneath the shadow here. So the east coast is going to hit night first. Time zones are arranged so that it is later here than it is in Alaska here. Okay? It's 4 hours later. So that means that if this was 4 in the afternoon, then in New York, then it would be noon in Alaska. Okay? So when you move west to east, you're going this way, so you're adding time. When you go east to west, you're subtracting time. Okay? So that means that, you know, if you leave here at noon, you fly for 9 hours, it's 9 p.m. That's going to be 1 a.m. when you land. But when you go the other way, you get the 4 hours. It goes earlier. It comes earlier. On the East Coast, it's 11 a.m. So what time is it in London? London is about 5 time zones east of the East Coast. So they're going to be 5 hours later. So it'll be 4 p.m. there. Hawaii is 5 hours west of the East Coast. So it will be 6 a.m. there. Because we subtract the 5 rather than adding it. That's because if we draw the globe and put our shadow on it again, when the East Coast is here, Hawaii is here, and England is about here, and London is here. So Hawaii is earlier in the day than the East Coast is, and London is later. If you found this video useful, consider subscribing or hitting the like button. I'll be posting another math hack next week.